Good morning, everybody. Hello, and how are you? Um, oh, what a beautiful morning. What a little chilly still, but boy, we'll take the chilly as long as I got my warm sweater. Um, I just wanted to make a real quick video this morning and show you I'm addicted. I'm just, you know, I get into different spells where I just want to do different things. And this one, I kind of showed on a different video where I first started on this one. This, and I'm right now into couching. I want to couch everything. I want to couch everything, which is just stitching anything down on a piece of fabric. This one, you can see all the stitches on the back of this piece of fabric where I have couched down so much. And so there's yarn and there's twisted fabric. But then I got started on, this one here, I had, I think, all the couching that I really wanted to do, and I still had an open space here and here, and a couple open spaces, and I wanted to cover up those spaces. So this is what I've done, and but I just want to show you how I come up with this. And I love, I love my scraps, just love my scraps. And well, then the other day I was sent a bit of fabric. What did I do with that? Bit of fabric. A little piece of purple fabric. And it's this one right here. And then I just moved things around on this here table and promptly lost it. I guess it's wherever my mind is. I don't know what I did with that piece of fabric. Oh, yeah, it is. I put my sketchbook on top of it. But this here, oops, move that. This here piece of fabric was sent to me by Carmen, but you can see the fabric. It's it's like it's lightweight and it's just kind of almost like a crepe in a way. And so I cut a strip off of this fabric, just a strip. It and I sewed that up. Now let me see if I can just sew up and scrunch another piece. See, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just fold it and fold it, see, and fold it. There we go. Now, so now I got that piece and it's kind of folded into a good. Now I'm going to cut this so that, oh, it might be about an inch, but it doesn't have to be even perfectly. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to roll this fabric up right here so it's ready to snip when I want another snip off of that. Because this fabric, that's a lot of fabric to be able to give me a lot of strips, but I just want to cut that one strip off for right now. And see, so now I have this strip. Let me move that over here. And then, let's see, I want to get a piece of I'm using embroidery floss to do this. But see, now I'm gonna get me a piece off of here, and I'm gonna let's see. I'm using this long, I think it's a Milner's, I'm not sure. Well, maybe not, I don't know. I'm learning about different needles now, too. A needle's been a needle. You either can have a blunt end or a sharp end. Well, I'm learning those ones with the blunt end, those is tapestry needles. But then a Milner's needle is, this one even might be a Milner's, but I still have to study needles a little bit more. But a Milner's needle will be the same. The round of the shank of the needle will be the same all the way up, even where the eye is. But then the eye will be a rounded eye, so you can so you can thread. But I want a long needle. I got a long needle here, and they've even got numbers, you know, so you know exactly what kind. Okay, gosh, I love that. I learned that little trick there about getting my thread through the needle, getting through the eye of the needle. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you here. Well, I got started making some here. See, look how pretty these look. Look how pretty these are, just beautiful little pieces. And look how raggedy that fabric is that I used on this one. It's raggedy. And this, all this fabric on these right here. Now this one's a little longer, see? Looks like a caterpillar. But all of these fabrics came out of an old rag rug. And I had bought this old rag rug one time, and it, after it washed a couple times, the strings, the warp threads, I guess they're called, started breaking, you know, and so the rug was just coming apart. So I just took the whole rug apart, and I have got a gunny sack full of just fabrics that come out of that rug. And they all look most of them look very silky, like a silky kind of fabric. And so, see what I'm doing here? I'm just going in and out of this. And I'm going all the way down, and I'm just gathering it up on my needle. That's why I want that long needle, so I can gather up just in and out. How I'm doing that, just in and out. I'm getting that on there. And I mean, this is Scrunch a Bunch. I do the Scrunch a Bunches with my scrap fabrics on the sewing machine, but this is Scrunching a Bunch on hand scrunching, that you can just scrunch a bunch of scrap fabric. I'm telling you. And this has got me to where, well, I've got a lot in my bag here that I've got this huge bag. It's, if you can think about having a pillowcase stuffed to the brim with scraps, that's what I've got down here with just these scraps that came out of that rug I pulled apart. I did a video when I pulled that rug apart, and you can see so much of what I found in that rug. Okay, see, now I'm almost to the end of that piece. And depending on how long your piece is how much. Now, see, it's all scrunched up on that needle. Now I'm just going to pull it down. I got a good knot in the end of this. And so now I'm going to just tie a knot in this end. Now, I could scrunch it tight if I want. It would make more like a little ball. But this one is, I'll give that a little twist because I don't want it just to be too. But see, then I have this. That's what I have there. And that is beautiful. And this is what is right here. So then I put that on this piece of fabric, just held it on with like French knots is what I held it on. But then I put this silky part on there, and that was these pieces like this, and I laid them down, and then I just went behind them and made like you would be sewing on a button or something. And then that's how I got those sewed attached to these places, and here too. And then this one here, like I just did here, is what's right here and up here. And so when I take that piece and I fold it in half like this, that looks like a most beautiful book cover for a needle book. And I thought about, well, you know, I could put a piece of fabric on the inside to line that. And then I said, no, I'm going to leave it just like it is because that's pretty. even the back side of when all the different colors of threads that you use. But I want to get started on making a larger piece, and I'm thinking, because I buy placemats from the thrift shop, and they make such a good base, for a journal cover or something in fabric. But look now, for a journal cover, isn't that beautiful? On here now, I've got some buttons I've got on there, and I got one yo-yo back here, and I just think it's just beautiful. But anyhow, that's what I want to show you. But now in the rug that I took apart, I have got just gangs of this kind of fabrics.
I'm back.
Okay, Papa. Like this. All of this come out of that rug I took apart. And this is only a handful I just pulled out of that bag. But look at the colors that's in there. Now this one piece here is more of a cottony kind of a something. But every inch of this is going to be used. But I want to get into more textile art. See, this one here, I already cut that one into smaller strips. Let me see if I find... Oh, look at how pretty the color is on this one. And so I'm going to just take that and see how it's not evenly cut and it's got ragged edges. And I'm going to post one thumbnail. That's sexy. But anyway, I'm just twisting this around like this. I found this is the easiest way to cut my pieces down. And so there, see how it's raggedy on the edge there? That's beautiful. That is just beautiful. And so then I will now see, because that at its widest point there is about 5 inches wide. And I'm going to just cut. I'm just going to cut. Now see, that one will have a smooth edge. But now I just got 4 or 5 strips out of that. Now what I want to do is I want to switch my color of thread here and see if I can find one that is more into that same color, although that doesn't matter either, really, to be particular about the color. Let me get a piece here that looks sort of into that color. It doesn't have to be exactly. Whoopsie, that one will work. And so I'm just going to fetch me a piece of that little thread, and you don't need much for each one. I'm going to get enough though, because if I do all of those strips. But I'm going to start, I'll be showing you right along the way. I'm going to be showing you right along the way whatever I named this video, I don't know. I'll have to think of what I'm going to even call it, and when I go to upload it. But this is what I think. I just, oh my gosh, I love recycling. I love recycling. I love fabrics and textiles. I just love it all. And I just love art. And so this is what I want to do. I want to just make art projects, and I can make just a piece that'll just hang on the wall, or I can do like I did this one and make a cover for a journal or book cover, a sewing, like a needle book. And then I was watching one lady that does a lot of umming. She does a lot of umming like me, but she has her needle book, and she's got her needles sorted in there. Like she's got her tapestry needles and by size, and her Milner's needles. I think she mostly uses tapestry and Milner's, and I think Milner's is the style she uses the most, and she does a lot of um, just a lot of fabric manipulation. And no, this lady that I'm watching, that I'm learning about the needles from, she does mostly embroidery. But there's another lady that does a lot of fabric manipulation, and I don't. There's a couple that I've watched on the fabric manipulation, and oh my gosh, are they gorgeous, beautiful pieces that she does. And I think that's the one that has, no, the embroidery lady has the book, the little needle book, and all of her, she wrote on a little piece of fabric and stitched it on the page, and she'll have milliners number 1, milliners number 2, whatever. So, and that's how she stores her needles, and she, different fabrics, she uses different needles. But I love the milliner. Like what I want to do too, and then I'm glad I learned about the milliners, that they're all of the same shank size all the way up, because and I've had trouble that I'll be stitching something, and I'll put a bead on, the bead will go all the way up to the eye, and then it won't go over the eye. Well, a milliner's needle, you can go all the way. It's a shank is going to be the same size. The eye's going to be the same size as the shank. So if you go to tie on, put a bead on, then it's going to, as long as it fits on the needle, it's going to fit in the through the bead. Now, see there. Look at that, how pretty that is. Isn't that just pretty and fluffy? And I think, like here where I couched on just twisted laces, twisted fabrics and twisted yarn and stuff. Just this one here piece of yarn isn't even twisted, and the only way I've got that stitched on there is these buttons. I put the buttons on there and stitch them buttons right on there. And here I've got just a little bit of beading in there of the beads that are already, they're like fused together, like Mardi Gras beads and stuff. I just put a few of those in there, and that's really pretty. And what I was thinking as I was couching these pieces on, what would be neat is each thread, when I couch, to add a bead on there. And that would be even more to the beauty. And the and here I didn't really even working on, like, I first started it in just all kind of blues, because this, where it's all the blues, I kind of did that first, and I was just going haphazardly around the piece. And then I had all that blue, and I said, no, I need to get more color. And then I started adding, I said, yellow. I need yellow. I need it to brighten it up with some yellow. And so I put some over on this side and then around in here. And I didn't, now some people, if they do something like this, they'll draw out on a sketchbook first what they think that they want to do, but what pattern they want. But I just didn't do anything like that. I just started stitching it on, and this is what it came out of it, and I just love it. And so I've been trying just a few new things these last couple of days, which I it's just, I want to do it 24 hours a day. Sleep is for the weak. I don't need no sleep. I want to stay up and stitch. But and then I've been playing with my sewing machine to learn how to do trying to teach myself how to use that, what do they call it when you just move your fabric around underneath, quilting, whatever that is. And so I've been playing with that a little bit, just trying to get the feel of that that quilting foot on the sewing machine. And I see where some people do it with just dropping the feed dogs. They don't even need a quilting foot, and they're able to do it, just dropping the feed dogs on your sewing machine. You don't need a special foot. And so, but I've been kind of just learning how to be I'm the foot instead of having, I mean, I'm the feed dogs. I'm just doing what the feed dogs would do, which the feed dogs just pulls it through. Well, without the feed dogs, well, then you're able to just rotate. Free motion quilting, they call that. So I just took this fabric, just a piece of fabric, and I just started just doing that. And then I put a piece of fabric, right here, I just put a piece of this, another scrap fabric, and I was seeing if I could free motion some petals on there and to make kind of like a flower. And so, and I think I did pretty good for my very first time trying to do something like that. But I just did it with the fabric, and then I went with my little scissors and I cut around where I put those petals, and then that made that flower then. And this is kind of like a little leaf down here, see? And then I could just embroider like a stem that goes up there. I just thought of that. I could go up there and hand embroider a little stem with just the embroidery stitch. But I'm finding that this is fun too, and beautiful when it comes out. Then I took my scissor and I just went around on the whole piece and just kind of cut around where all my stitching was, and I ended up with this. But now I could take this and start adding stuff to this, or I could sew this onto just a scrap piece. I could sew it onto another scrap of something, and that would be so pretty, just. And that would be a beginning, just a beginning. And so now this is another one. Now if I were to see, because I cut that one piece in them separate strips, but see how this one, it's like wide in some places, narrow in some places, fraying in some places, not fraying in other places. And it goes from, wide to narrow. Oh, I'm going down here and it's really skinny piece here, but we'll get that in there. It's just going to go in there just no matter what. And so when I start, in fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out a placemat today that I want to work on, and I'm going to use that placemat, and that's what I'm going to. Oh, I got one farming. I want to start. I love the fabric journals. And I think I got one fabric placemat. And then you don't have to even cover the whole thing. I got one fabric placemat that is got like a farming scene on it. I think my friend Tracy sent me that one. It's got cows on it or something. But if you were to take that placemat, which is a flat placemat, and then you see something, some kind of a focal point on the placemat itself, then like if it's got a if it's got a cow on the placemat, and then you say, then you can start adding couching to it and make a tree there, and maybe make a barn beside of it. And I got a lot of things in my mind, and it's kind of hard to describe what my mind is thinking. And so I'm gonna be making videos right along as I'm learning this. When I'm learning myself how to do this, whatever I'm doing, I don't even know what it is. It's just having fun, and it's just an art process. Now see, I can take this, I can either squish it all the way down to the knot and have just a small piece, or I can relax it a little bit like this and have a longer stem. And so I'm going to go ahead and put my knot. I'll make a double knot so it's big. Now if you have a real loose weaved fabric, you might almost have to stitch it onto each end because the knot may not hold it there. But see, now I have that piece. It's a little wider here than it is down here, but it's ready to go. Now if I lay that on a piece of fabric, I could just stitch it on from behind and hold it on, or I could put it on, I could couch it on, you know, just a couple stitches to couch it on. Now I'm just gonna, look at this old vintage drawer. Isn't that beautiful? I don't know where I got that, but it's beautiful. But anyhow, that's what I wanted to show you just on this little video today for right now. But I'm gonna continue on just sitting here with my needle and thread, and as I learn new things, I'm going to be sharing them along, or I'm going to share them along with you all on little videos like this here and there. And I hope that you all might enjoy them and enjoy this process of it's just textile art. And if you look up on your videos on YouTube and whatnot, you can look, just put in textile artists, textile art, and you'll find so much. Now, there are some that everything is purchased, and they've got the high dollar threads and the high dollar fabrics and the high dollar everything that they do their artwork on. But you do not need that. In fact, I see, what is this one book I have? Who is she? In fact, this one book here that I have. It's called Expressive Stitches, a no rules guide to creating original textile art. Now this, in fact, her name is Jan Dowson. She's over in the UK. But this is an awesome book. I'm going to go ahead and put, because I love this book, I'm going to go ahead and put that one in my Amazon affiliate link too. Because this one, this lady, well, first of all, I love how she looks. She looks like she's beautiful. She's just beautiful. But anyway, look at her. Look at her. Wouldn't you just fall in love with her right there on the street? That is my kind of lady. That's what I call beautiful. That right there is what I call a beautiful lady. You look at the picture, you look at her picture, you can see right into her soul. It's how beautiful she is. And look at her smiling at her little dog. But anyway, this I'm getting a lot of, because she even couches down. This is stones that she's couched down. She can go out. She goes out. She travels a lot too. So like here, she'll snap a picture of, I think this was in Venice, and she snapped a picture of that because she saw those images. She saw those buildings. She just snapped a picture that gives her an idea of something. And here she snapped a picture of just the foliage and stuff on one of her walks. And when she sees this, she knows she can go and create that. And like, look at this, this old worn building. She took a picture of those. And that's what she uses as inspirations. And, oh man, this book, so much in this book. And she's got a machine that's called this machine is a, what is it called? It looks like a sewing machine, but it is here she did some free motion embroidery. But this machine is called what the heck is that? It's a, oh my God, what she does to her journals. I want to do that too. And, look at her, how beautiful she is. Now that is one beautiful lady. Well, anyway, I don't know what you call that machine, but here it is. It's embellisher. It's an embellishing machine. I've never even heard of one of them. It looks like a sewing machine, but instead of a sewing needle, and foot. There are barbed needles for felting. Essentially, this machine needle felts your work without the need to do it by hand. Ideal for creating threadless textures on large pieces of work and for attaching layers of fabric without using thread. I use a baby lock. It has 6 barbed needles and is a real workhorse. I use it mostly for securing applique in my base cloths, but it'll actually felt your cloth together. I've never even heard of one of them. Look at these beautiful pictures, just a jar of buttons, her scissors, her things, just beautiful. But anyway, here she's got like samplers of different stitches that she's done, different things, just beautiful. I want to do this. I want to do everything in this book. I want to. This here lady, and I'm not finished listening to her yet, but she's being interviewed by somebody. She makes these birds. Oh man, look at that bird. That is beautiful. I have to really read up on this one because I'm curious as how she actually got them stitched on there. But she loves her old birds too, like crows and stuff. Look at this, just beautiful. There she is again. She's just beautiful. Her name is Jan Dowson. Award-winning textile art tutor and artist Jan Dowson has over 20 years of teaching experience in the UK. She loves hand embroidery and never feels fully satisfied unless the surfaces she works on are completely covered in stitches. Her work is a fascinating blend of hand and machine embroidery, applique, and mixed media. She won the prestigious Beryl Dean National Teaching Award in 2015 and was the 2014-15 winner of UK's City and Guilds Gold Medal of Excellence. Oh my goodness. But look at that. Look at that image there. Could you imagine creating an image like that on your own? Oh my God, is that beautiful. And I'll put that book. I probably spend too much money on books. It says that I don't think I gave $29.95. That's what it says back here. But I don't think I gave that much for this book. I'd hope I didn't. But what I do is when I find a book in Amazon, I always go into the used books to see if that same book is in the used book section. And you can get it for much less price. And a lot of times they're like new when you get them that way. But Expressive Stitches, that's a good book. And yeah, I'm going to continue working on some of this today. This is probably what I'm going to do most of my day. I got my cup of coffee here. When it's cold, you want to have like a thermal cup like this. Keeps your coffee all nice and warm. And so I got my computer sitting right over there. So I can sit right here and watch Stitchers on there. And polished one thumbnail. I clip all my nails. See, I had all polished, but I didn't like it. And the polish just peeled right off. But I'm not peeling. I leave my thumbnails sort of grow because I use them as tools. But I keep my other nails cut short because I need them to be short. Otherwise, they get in my way. And so, but that's all I have to say about that. Now, so I'm going to, this is my little cozy spot here. And this is where I love to live, and I live to love. But I do go out there and sit with Papa every once in a while. And I need to fix a way that he can have a lazy chair in here and just come sit with me in here. But let me read to you just because I just always do. So I need to have another little message from our ancestors. Let's see what they're up there. They're up there on cloud 9 again. They just sit up there all night and all day, and they just watch us. They watching all of us, me and you, and all them other ones that's watching. They just watch us, and they send us messages on these cards, and I'll tell you what they said. Let me see here how pretty. It says right on the stamp, it says 2 cents from heaven. So this is their 2 cents worth that they're sending from heaven to us. Their 2 cents worth. Okay, here it says, wait a minute, I get me this one to be my bookmark. I have to get an extra one to put under there so I can see where I'm at. Okay. Everything is in divine order. Even in chaos, there is order. And we are always in awe of this. For you, though, on your human journey, things can get disorganized in your mind and physical reality. You need to get rid of the clutter, whether it is too many stories in your mind, too many what ifs, or fearful thoughts of the past or future. Instead, focus on the now. Empty your mind, clean your house, and throw out any object that tells you an uncomfortable story. Discern what you have, sort, purge, and clear and organize. We want you to have space to fill with something better. Spirit loves a vacuum, as it gives you space for brilliant new energy. Let go of what is not serving you and give order to what remains. See them and know their value. Your soul needs organization in order to keep your connection to us and to spirit free of distractions. You are so adored by so many. We hope you really know that. That's our ancestors. They're sitting up there on cloud 9, up in heaven, and they get together and they chat and they watching us. They're just watching us as they're swinging their feet in the air, and they're just polishing their angel wings, and all of those who have gone before us, and they discuss what they see, and then they send us this postcard, and I'm grateful for them. These messages from spirit, from our ancestors, and they're trying to. They want us to be happy and enjoy. They want us to enjoy life and be happy, and so they send us these postcards from spirit. 52 card oracle deck. That's what they call this. Best-selling author of The Map and Uncharted, Colette Baron Reed. So thank you for watching, and I'm going to keep on stitching now here. I'm going to be making me some more of these little, what I call them? I called them, where'd I put my little thing? I had a, scrunch bunch. My scrunchy, I'm scrunching. I'm going to be more scrunching. I got a lot of this stuff. So I can do scrunching from now till the cows come home. And them cows is way out there, so it's going to take them a while to get home because they still way on out there over yonder. And takes them a while because they stop and eat some grass on the way. They ain't no hurry. Them cows ain't no hurry. If they see a nice piece of grass beside the road, they're going to stop and take them a little munch of that grass. And that gives us more time to do this, because until the cows come home, we can just, in any kind of fabric. Now, I got this beautiful stuff out of an old chunky rug, but any kind of fabric, just cut it up in strips, and not even, or tear it, or whatever, Oh, and to get this, I just wanted to say this too, to get this type of silky fabrics, if you're going to the thrift shop, one thing to look for is men's ties. Men's ties, if you open those up, take them open, bring them home and open them. It's amazing. There's usually some kind of a batting in them, or some kind of fabric inside of them even, but many of them are silk ties or silk kind of fabrics. And once you open them, the tie might only be this wide at the bottom, but when you open it, you got a piece of fabric this wide. And so silk ties, you look for them, and look for ladies' scarves. And then just, and then when you're taking a scarf and cutting it, let me see here a minute. I think I have a scarf in my little sack here that I wanted to cut. Oh, here is this. This is a scarf. And, okay, what does it say? Oh, it's pure silk. Made in China. Pure silk. But now, to cut this, what you can do is just kind of, okay, so if I just roll this up, just kind of roll it, like I did roll the other, just roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it. And I don't have to get that all rolled perfectly nicely. See, I'm just going to just keep rolling that. Or you can fold it, just keep folding it. I might be getting too much thickness here to be able to cut it. I don't know. Now, but it's got a hem on the one side there, so I'm going to cut. Now, see, I don't have it cut. I don't have it rolled out perfectly. Let me see. I'm going to cut that. Chop it. Just chop it. That's what I did. So now I got most of that hem off because I want it to be a raw edge. And then I'll go down here about 1 inch and just chop it. There you go. See? Off of that scarf. I just got, and do you see how that cut? How it cut all raggedy? It's not even. It's not even at all. It's all raggedy because I cut it that way. I cut it. See? Look at that, how that looks. That's beautiful. Now, once I start, oh, I thought I ended this video and I didn't. I'm not ended yet. I already read though, so I don't have to read again. But see, now I'm going to just do this with this blue thread because even that's not important. This is pure silk because it come off of a scarf. And, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You might even have some scarves in your drawer that you just don't wear. You used to wear them when you was maybe a teeny bopper, I remember back in the day when I was riding a school bus going back and forth to school, and that was in the 50s and early 60s. Oh, never mind. That's Jennifer. Okay, I gotta go now. It's your daughter. Hello, sweet child, sweet child, sweet child. Yes, I am wonderful. And how about your own self?